Hello everybody, welcome to the all-new 27 North HQ. We're about 5 weeks from completion and 4 weeks from moving in our equipment. Here behind me, we finally have our awesome awning installed to protect the door from the climates. Here in the front, we have ample amount of parking. We did an EV charger here. We did 50 parking spots here to my left across the front so that all of our employees can park out front and feel a part of the team with a separate employee entrance there. We also are running a sidewalk completely around the building into our off-road course where staff can, on their lunch breaks, be able to walk around, enjoy the scenery, as you can hear the wonderful chirping of the birds. Going on to the inside, we have our showroom. In the showroom, we have 28-foot ceilings. 28-foot ceilings. We did that to make it feel really open and industrial. We're gonna have also at any given time a finished showpiece here, whether it's a van or an expedition truck for display. Then back here we did a large conference room. We are incorporating a couple of different business principles, and so we meet on a weekly basis with our team, and also a very fast growing company. So in order to keep close communications, we try to meet at least weekly, sometimes every other day. 16-foot windows to bring a lot of that sunlight in, make it feel really open and airy. Over here we did a oversized 16-foot garage door. It'll be black with glass panels so that whenever our dealers come to tour, or if some clients wanted to come with a dealer and tour our factory, they can look through this window here and see the entire production floor. Another neat thing that we're going to do is put really big canvases on the walls to kind of illustrate the different environments that these trucks and vans are created for. Here, I apologize for the mess as there's a lot going on, but back there we have our wood shop. We're gonna have a full industrial wood shop, industrial CNC, industrial edge band, a robotic arm that loads the machines, and then of course general assembly. And so we're going to be able to in-house our complete cabinet, wall, and floor assembly systems. It'll give us the opportunity to not only output more product, but at the same time it's in its own room to keep that noise on the production noise on the production floor down to a minimum. Excuse me. Over here we have our first office. This office is very special because it's got a window to the production floor. So here we're probably going to have safety, warranty, customer support, so that they have access and can see the production line. If they see someone or something being done incorrectly, they can quickly come out and intervene and provide the proper training. Over here we have our next office. This one's important as well because it's got a window to the production floor. Here we're going to have purchasing and inventory so that they too have a view of the entire production floor. They can see the entire pallet racking system. It's going to be over 400 feet long of pallet racking, and they're going to be able to eyes on to be able to see when inventory is going low or when inventory is not being correctly handled. They'll always have their eyes on the production line. My office, by far that's the favorite, is our operations and production office. This is what I call HQ or home base. And this office is really unique because it's got two windows, very large windows, that show both sides of the production line. So you have here almost a 360 view, panoramic view of the entire production line. This is where the brains of the operation will be, and they'll be able to have a desk here and have their eyes on the production at all times. And you can see here, essentially everyone who's hands-on involved, from parts acquisitions to production, quality control, safety, they all have a window office to the production line so that their eyes are on the production line at all times. I always tell my team, production is like a child. The moment you take your eyes off of it, they do something wrong. And so it's very important for the managers to be very closely involved with the production line. We also did 10-foot ceilings. This is a really cool recommendation by our builder. It just gives it that more open feeling, a lot more airflow, and studies have actually showed to improve employee performance. On the exterior here, we're gonna have a 15-foot observatory deck, kind of a mezzanine style. I love giving tours and people coming through at all the times, and I, instead of taking them completely down the production line and back and just taking up so much time and not really getting a good bird's eye view, we're gonna build this custom deck here to where I can just bring them up on the deck and show them the entire production line from one area. On this side, we wrapped it all in steel instead of drywall because it is a manufacturing plant, and drywall, as you know, is very sensitive to getting damaged. And I think that's just a key important factor to work closely with your builder. Here we have our mechanical room. This really baffles me, the amount of infrastructure it takes just to cool the offices and heat the offices. And so here you see we'll have 4 industrial units for the office, and then along with our hot water heaters. Over here we did a water station, and so our techs, they drink a lot of water and we are always pushing them to stay hydrated. So we have an entire water station here where they can fill water bottles, where they can bring hot water. That's probably a unique feature of the building, is a lot of them love drinking hot tea, hot coffee, and so they'll have an auto dispenser for hot drinks. Here we have this really cool nook that comes into the restrooms here. We did a large oversized restroom. We noticed in our current operation we only have 2 restrooms, and as you can imagine, that's a big challenge, guys having to take turns, wait in line. And so we made as large of a bathroom as we could so that they too, whenever they gotta do their business, they're able to go and not have to wait in line or wait till a break. Here we have our break room. I really was involved with the builder and our HR team and our team building this break room because we wanted them to have kind of a safe haven, oasis-like environment where they can really disconnect from work. And so we put a large window, bringing in a lot of sunlight. Along this wall here, we'll have a bar top with cell phone chargers. That's a big thing. We noticed employees just standing in the production line plugged into charging ports, or in the break room leaning up against the wall. Well, we put charging ports along the table so that they can sit and eat lunch while their phones charge. We also noticed that they don't like sitting in big groups. They kind of have their nooks of 4 or 5 people. And so we're gonna do a lot of individual tables with about 4 or 5 chairs per table so that they can have those little close knit circles that they take their breaks in. On this side, I want to highlight the microwaves we've been talking about. And so yes, we will have 12 industrial microwaves. And our builder, when he found out the story behind it, which is we have a large Ukrainian workforce and they bring leftovers or fresh meals from home and always want to heat them up. Well, currently they have to wait in line because if they use 2 microwaves, it trips the breakers. So our builder ran each one on an individual circuit. And so we have 6 high voltage circuits with 2 outlets. And so you can literally run all 12 microwaves at one time. Going on to our production line here, you see here we have the door strategically placed along the backside there. So shipping and receiving, the parts arrive and they're fed into the production line live. So we don't have a building out back or some trailers and containers where they're overflowing with parts. That's a waste of resources, time, space. You got to move it around. It's harder to track. And so as it arrives in those 4 dock bay doors, it gets fed into the production line. And then above the production line, kind of offset to one side so it's not on their heads, we're going to have almost 400 feet of pallet racking. And so overflow parts would go in the pallet racking right next to the production line. Over here we have our electrical panels. A lot of power here. We ran about 100 times more power than we need so that we can grow into it. We want to start fabricating more and more stuff in-house. And in order to do that, we had to wire in a tremendous amount of power. So we have 4 units across the building and enough power to run an entire fabrication shop in here. And that doesn't limit us. We noticed in our current manufacturing, every time we bring in a new piece of equipment, we have to get electrical contractors in, they have to run the power here. We laid out our 10-year plan, and built this building to accommodate us for the next 10 years. The production line, it will run the full length of the building. We'll have 2 lines going, 22 units in production. A lot of times I see genuine good manufacturers, but they overestimate how much space they need, and they put 100 units in production. And in the industry that we're in, the recreational vehicle industry, I don't think it's wise. I think the best advice I received from a very successful and probably one of the largest manufacturers in the world is do more with less. And whenever our engineers ran the numbers, our building here is competing with a building 5 times its size. And so to clarify, we can output the equivalent to what one of our competitors with 5 times the building can. And that's just using simple systems, procedures, practicing lean manufacturing, and all the things associated with that. I want to finish the tour off with a walkthrough of the offices. Here we have the entrance into the offices, and we did an oversized hallway. So if you look there, you can see that we made the hallway 2 feet wider, and that's the same philosophy. Is you want to make your staff and employees feel like they're in a manufacturing building. You want to make it feel open. New York City, Chicago, Portland, if you look at these new office spaces, they're all big, wide, giving it, you know, that feeling of you want to come to work, you want to feel productive, you want to feel, you know, open, like you're not confined. We have offices on my right and my left. Same thing, we carried out the 10-foot ceilings throughout the entire building. We also noticed that different departments like it at different temperatures, so we put 4 different thermostats for 4 sections of the building, and allowing the employees that like it, you know, 68, 69, and then you have employees that like it 73, 75. I'm on the high side, and so we divvied up the temperature climate control zones. Here we have an awesome little nook work area for the office staff. A lot of the girls like to have their own little, I call girl retreats, on their break and lunch times, and eat lunch together and have their own coffees, and so that they don't have to go out into the production floor, out in the back to the break room for the manufacturer employees. They have this little workspace here that they can, if they need to step out of the office and work in a commons area, or if they want to take a break. Here we will have a secondary water station, and then after that we will have a 2 large restrooms, a men's and a women's restroom. Same thing, a lot of people think, oh, you just need 1 restroom for each, and they don't take in consideration that you know, that the more bathrooms you have, I lost my train of thought. On this side we have additional offices, same thing, 10-foot ceilings, outlets on all the walls. We even had a specific meeting on outlets, and so the builder that we worked with was very involved and helped us think through everything. You know, this is the first factory we built, and he helped sit down with every manager and, hey, where do you see your computer going? Where do you see your desk going? Do you hang a TV on the wall, or do you have an electrical picture frame? Do you need USB outlets? Do you need USB outlets? And then here on the very end, we have our executive offices, both on the perimeter of the building, and they too get nice windows, bring in that sunlight. And then to finish the tour off, we have my office. In my office, you know, things to consider when you're building. The executives oftentimes have serious, big conversations that you don't want be, you know, let out, whether it's into your company or to the public. And so one thing that our team did is they put the most dense sound deadening insulation in the walls. And so in here, you could literally have music playing full blast and not hear it outside the office. So it's almost like a sound booth. And we did that with our executive offices. Highly recommended. for anyone building a building. And so thank you for joining us along our journey. I will do an additional video that gets into more detail based on the questions and feedback that you continue to provide me with. Thank you, and God bless you.